Hello, here we are back in the Brakenrahm, looking at phase 1, and phase 2 is not going too badly. This is what I'm currently doing. It's going to continue bits and pieces like this, not going to be very much. I'm not yet sure what this will be converted to. It depends on how I answer a single question, really. What did this place look like before whatever happened? Was this realm made of ordinary material like stone? And the end stone is what became of that when this happened, when the place broke apart. That's the only thing I'm clear on, that this was not what this place used to look like. Something definitely happened here. I feel like most people assume that about the end. Did it used to look different? But yeah, I'm still debating whether I'm going to imply that there's the remains of an ordinary world, like the overworld, or something more exotic, which is how a lot of people like to present the end when they do these makeovers. And I know there's a mod, I think it's called the Better End mod. Those are quite exotic zones in that as well. I'm going to have to continue some of this underneath. Depending on what I actually do, because if I convert this to end stone, it's not really going to stand out that much. I want to imply, though, that the island that we see in the present, which this is not, this is a long time before the player would arrive, so there's a lot of where to go. I think I mentioned this last week, talking about pillars. These probably will decay more and lose some of the fragile material at the top and become straighter and look more like the pillars that we know. And obviously this may potentially just completely disappear. Well, actually, given that the end dragon that we know will eventually be born here, I would imagine that she is responsible for the disappearance of this temple, which is obviously not present in the present of the game that we know. This is the end dragon's egg as well, the end dragon that we are familiar with. As far as the pillars, they do need a little work. I think I mentioned this last time. After modifying some modifications and modifying them again, I ended up with this kind of partial highlighting decoration around glass passing through. But for some reason, as I carried on, it became more like a weird highlighting going, well, introducing color eventually, which I'm okay with. This stuff, though, I mean, this one's not too bad. I think I became aware of what I'd done as I went along, so I started to modify it. That one's got no color on purpose. There are 10 pillars. The 5... Sorry, there are... How many pillars? Yeah, there's 5 pillars. Yeah, so there's four pairs of pillars representing the anti-elements, as I'm currently calling them, which is not a great name, but that's what they're known as at the moment. And then there are just 2 pillars that are blank. But yeah, I need to tweak this, but this part of it, the central feature, is finished. Well, as I said, I'm working on this. At the moment, one thing I'm definitely doing is I want to include a precursor to the purple plant. I want a tree that will evolve into what we recognize. I don't think the underside was completely finished. It's a bit messy, it's a bit featureless, kind of doesn't really have a point. There's not really much to look at. It's just completing part of the picture. But yeah, although I am, as I said, working on this part, I have done one more thing which I've taken a lot of pain not to show, because it's actually behind me and to the right of the ether. This is Alen, the father of the End Dragon. There's another creature going to go here. I'm not sure at which point. I'm not going to do all of this in one go, so I may prepare this and then come back to do the other creature, but he was done first, after the temple. Obviously dressed up the laser beam. This was necessary. I hadn't planned to do it. I think it needed something, but I became attached to the idea of presenting the glow on the belly and anywhere else relevant that's coming from the beam, because as we all know, lights in Minecraft are all white light, regardless of what the color of the block is. And I was like, well, maybe I can try and suggest a green glow, which kind of works, but there's no glow here that's green, it's just white, so it's only a partial cell. And I think I did this swirly stuff, maybe to try and fudge it a little bit. It's not gone too badly. Once I'd done that, I started highlighting according to the light sources on the spine, which maybe has lightened things a little too much. I tried to really keep it as minimal as possible. I wanted as much of the black stone to be left untouched. It didn't go too badly. You can see here, I've actually played with adding obsidian. It doesn't match very well with the black stone. You're only getting away with it because it's a distance, and the end is a dark place anyway, so it kind of fudges over the distinction. It needs work. I would need to, I think, pull it back a little bit and broaden it. But it can be used to highlight certain patches on the thighs, knees. Probably put something on the shoulders here. I might take a look at what coal looks like compared to the black stone. Coal is a much darker block. It's probably going to show up the black stone too much, make the black stone look grey as it actually is. Yeah, that's not too bad. There's a block of coal. Natural? Get natural coal blocks. I think it's not exactly... No, it's wrong block. Come on. See what this really looks like. Let's stick it in the middle. Yeah. The coal may be superior. The obsidian would have been nice because it works better conceptually, but I think the colour mismatch is too strong. Yeah. So again, much like the this area, I think there's some tweaking still to be done. I haven't smoothed this out, partially on purpose, partly because, well, what do you do about it? It's 2x2, there's not a lot of room there. And if you go too crazy, it starts to look a little too janky. But my world is a Minecraft world, and a mob that looks like a Minecraft mob as an organic is acceptable to me, so yeah, I'm okay with how this looks. Alright, let's take a proper look at this. Do a couple of flybys and then don't really have much else to say. Covered what I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks, including building this guy's sparring partner. I don't like how close he is. I put the body approximately where I think I envisioned it according to the original viewing spot over there, which is actually obscured now, but from that position the body was roughly in the right location, but I think it probably should have been back another couple of chunks. I feel like it's right in the face, a little bit too much, but at this point I think it would need a world edit before I would be inclined to move the dragon. So it is where it is as far as I'm concerned. Let's see what I can do with the coal. It's going to stand out too much. And I don't think there's a transition block. There's nothing that's going to be able to go in between the coal and the blackstone. Yeah, it can't go there. It's just too... Well, anyway, let's give another look. Wings do look a little bit rigid, a little bit straight. I don't think they're quite as folded the way that I would have perhaps wanted for what's going on here. The idea that the dragon has spiraled to avoid this shot. I wonder if the wings would be pulled in, folded to be thin, rather than spread out like this. But it's not like I'm gonna look at it and be like, I have to do something about it or anything. It's just something that I'll probably wonder about for a little while before just moving on. Can definitely do with another colour to go in between the black and the coal and the blackstone. Pretty sure there isn't one. I think everything else is far too light. What am I looking for? Block of netherite. Yeah, it's miles too light. Yep, I'm definitely going to say adieu and continue with this later. Yeah, a bit janky that, isn't it? There's one of the big problems. There are a couple of faults with the curvature. It looks fine from above, like this. But when you start to see it in 3 dimensions, you realize this is a little bit too straight. It should have been more gentle. Same thing happens with the neck. Should probably have curved up slightly sooner. Just there. But yes, adieu.